I think the meaning of life, let's get deep here for a second. I think the meaning of life is to lead a life of purpose, to know or believe you are here for a reason, to always be moving toward that, to feel like what you're doing is making a difference in the world. Too many people, I think, are chasing what other people would tell them is success, what our system says is a successful life. But meaning comes from doing something that you believe is important, that you are contributing to the world, to your community, to your family, to whatever it is. If you are doing something that brings joy to you and that you feel good about doing, I think that's what life is all about. And it's sad that I think too many people never get to the point where they figure out what their purpose is. I didn't land on my purpose until, my mid-30s. I had half a career by then. I had successfully built and sold a few companies and achieved different awards and whatnot. And I realized that I was chasing what sort of society says makes a successful business leader. And it wasn't until I went through Leadership Atlanta in 2013 that I leaned into this purpose of having an outsized positive impact on the world. And ever since then, everything I've done has pointed toward that. The companies I've started, the initiatives I've said yes to, the things I've said no to, the way that I think about raising my children, everything, as much as I can make it, points toward having an outsized positive impact on the world. And that is now how I measure what success looks like to me. So it no longer is something that is, being pushed on me from the outside. And there's tremendous freedom that comes from that. There's so much satisfaction with life when you feel like you know why you're here and you are doing something important. So the way I would have you think about finding your purpose, if you don't have it, it's pretty simple. I think you start by, what is it that makes you unique and special? What are you amazing at? What is it that when you do it, it just brings all of you to the forefront? You're charged up by it. I don't think it has to be, what are you passionate about? I think that's part of it, but I think it's more than that. It's what really do you love doing and that you're awesome at? We all have superpowers, right? What's your superpower? And then you think about, what's the change that you want to see in the world? What is it that you really want to make an impact on? What's the wrong that you want to right? And you put those two things together, your superpower and the change you want to see in the world. And at that intersection is where you will find your personal purpose. That to me is, if I were to give one piece of advice to anybody, it's to do that hard work, to really spend the time to figure out what is your personal purpose. And then I promise you, every day after that will be rewarding and fulfilling, and your life will be completely different than before you discovered your purpose. It was that way for me. I've talked to so many people who have gone through that similar experience. And to me, like, you feel like you're doing something that is making the world a better place, and the fulfillment that comes from that and the pressure that comes off from all these outside influences, you sort of start to say, you know what? It doesn't matter what other people think I should be doing. This is why I'm here. This is what gets me going. This is what I love doing, and I feel like I'm doing something important. And you can put blinders on and just move toward that. Do that hard work, find your personal purpose, and I promise your life will be different forever after. Wow, you made it to the end of the podcast. I didn't think people did that anymore. Well, since I still have you, I'd love for you to do two things. First, subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. That way you'll be alerted as soon as I post my next one. And second, I'd love for you to subscribe to my email newsletter. I send out an email every week or two, and it's really where I share my more personal thoughts and ideas. Plus, I give stuff away sometimes. You can find the sign up at my blog, jeffhillemeyer.com. And I really do appreciate you listening.